Hello and welcome to the Asian Games. Scott McIntyre and Michael Church coming to you from Doha with some Jordanian fans. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much.
What was your impression of the game? How happy, how proud are you?
It's the first time I feel like that. It's the final. Jordan. It's a history.
Great.
Do you think Jordan can win the Asian Cup now?
Yeah, we get the final.
And for you, come a bit closer, guys. Come and sit. For you, before the competition, maybe nobody expected Jordan to make it to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Why do you think Jordan has been so successful?
Because the coach, it's very smart for the
new coach.
Yeah, the new coach.
The new coach is smart.
Yeah, smart. Not like the before one. Yeah. Not like
what about in terms of players? Because you have many good players, fantastic players. Yes, I was going to ask you. So everybody's favorite is Mousa.
Yes.
Mousa and Yazan Al-Naimat.
Right. Some people are saying that Mousa Al-Taamari is the new Mohamed Salah, and he can play the new Messi.
Messi Jordan. Yeah.
Messi Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Do you think he has the ability to play in the Premier League, for example?
Of course.
Yeah.
He is playing now in the Monoplay in French. Yeah.
He's now at the highest level.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, it was great. It was good for us. We were really excited as well to be there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck for the final. Do you have a preference? Iran, Qatar? Which
I am with
Qatar.
Qatar, yeah, of course, Qatar. Yeah.
Because,
it's final, Arabic final.
Arabic final.
Qatar and Jordan, yeah. I hope that.
Good luck, guys.
you.
Really good luck. Thank you very much. So, as you can see, there are a lot of Jordanian fans here. We are down in the Souq once again. It's like the gathering spot.
Souq Waqif brings
Yes.
back even more memories of being here for the World Cup, right?
That's right. And the good thing, we've said it repeatedly throughout the tournament, but it's not just the Jordanian fans. There's a bunch of guys behind us. You almost got in a fight with the Saudi guy.
He red carded me.
Did he
What's
really?
that all about?
Right.
Yeah, red card.
Yeah, so I mean, the atmosphere is brilliant, and I think it's really good for the tournament as well that Jordan got there. It will be great, of course, as the guys said, if Qatar can also reach through to the final as well. We spoke pre-match. I said, do you think Jordan can do this? And we were kind of, yeah, okay, sure, anyone, but I don't know how much belief people had, even the Jordanian fans, because you're coming up against a star-studded Korean team who've proven time and time again that they had the ability to come back in this tournament. I said to you when the first Jordanian goal went in that, okay, this is now just set up for the next Korean comeback, but things were different this time. Jordan really went on with the job, and we'll get to the moments in a minute, but I think it was almost evident from the first. Immediately from kickoff in the first half, the intensity that Jordan came out with, how aggressive they were off the ball, harrying, pressing, closing down, not allowing the Koreans the space to breathe. I saw there was a lot of commentary, question marks raised about the efficiency of the Korean side, but I think a lot of this was down to just how impressive this Jordanian side was off the ball.
Yeah, off the ball, on the ball. Basically, the first 30 minutes, there was only one team in the game, right? I mean, Jurgen Klinsmann even referred to it in his press conference after the game. The first 20 or 30 minutes, he was really, I think, genuinely taken aback by how dominant the Jordanians were. Look, as you say, we talked about it before the game. We talked about it last night as well in terms of did they have a chance? And look, they proved in the game when the two teams played against each other in the group stage that they were the match of the Koreans, certainly on that day. Today they were playing against a Korean team that had played back-to-back 120-minute games, that was undoubtedly had an influence on the game. Would it have made a difference if they hadn't played those games, if they played just 90 minutes in both games? Maybe, maybe not. I still think the Jordanians would probably have come out winners. They wanted it more, they were one step quicker, they were more intense. They missed a few chances in the first half, 4 or 5 really good chances, but they made amends for that in the second half. They came out, they maintained that intensity, they showed a cutting edge that was maybe missing in the first 45 minutes, and they were very good. They fully deserved their win.
I'm just so impressed. They played so many matches, every nation, of course, to get to this point of the tournament. Such a short turnaround. I know they didn't go the whole back-to-back extra times like Korea did, but just the intensity of it, it was just so impressive. They were swarming right across the pitch. A massive crowd in attendance as well, obviously heavily pro-Jordanian. but they just got this extra energy from somewhere that you don't see teams at this point of the tournament have. They've every step of the way they've made history to win a match in the knockout stages, to get to the semi-finals, now into the final, and there's such a momentum around this team now. Obviously we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I think it's going to take a hell of a team, whether it's Iran or Qatar, just to stop them, because this dream, this wave that they're on, and you said at full time you can't remember maybe a more impressive result or a more surprise result than this one in the history of the Asian Cup.
And certainly of the Asian Cup matches that I've been to since '96.
Which equals almost the history of the Asian Cup.
It's almost the Asian Cup history, indeed. It's hard to think of a more surprising, not surprising, that's a bit harsh, that's unfair on the Jordanians, because they certainly did come into the game, I think, as equals to the Koreans based on their performances at the tournament so far. But certainly it was still an unexpected result in terms of, we were talking earlier about, coming into this tournament. I mean, how many people outside of the Jordanian camp, or maybe even within the Jordanian camp, how many people were saying, we'll be in the final, Jordan will be in the final. You would have got ridiculous odds if you'd gone to a bookmaker's to lay a bet on. It was just, it's one of the most surprising outcomes, I think, in all of my time covering Asian football.
And obviously we knew about the threat, and we raised him in the pre-tournament podcast that we did, the preview podcast, the threat of Mousa Al-Taamari.
Sure.
I think the questioning was, is he going to be the breakout star of the tournament? He's gone from being more than the breakout star. He's the undisputed. Well, not undisputed. I said last night, Akram Afif is going to win, but yes, I might need to apologise, because on the basis of today, I think Al-Taamari now is. And of course, he's been exceptional throughout the whole thing. But tonight I thought he was so good, and it really was the first goal came from him winning the ball back, driving forward, laying the ball off to Yazan Al-Naimat, who provided another very good
who has been excellent
finish. He's
as well
been
to this
excellent.
tournament. Yazan Al-Naimat has been really, for me, coming into the tournament and knowing Mousa Al-Taamari, he was very impressive in 2019 as well. But seeing a player like Al-Naimat coming in, I was at several other group games, and he also was very impressive, just with his direct running, with his fearlessness, really. And that's something that him and Taamari share, is that determination, that drive to just pick the ball up and just to run at goal, to run at defenders, to really cause them problems. And look, whoever they play in the final is gonna have to contend with what defenders don't like. Defenders don't like players who run at them with pace, with the ball, and who are fearless. And both of them can do it, and both of them, the movement is incredible, and they'll cause all sorts of problems.
Different kind of players, though. I mean, Al-Naimat's taller.
Sure.
Honestly, I mean, he looks a little bit gangly when you look at him. You wouldn't think that he's got this kind of balance and control. Whereas Al-Taamari's a kind of smaller, stockier, just an absolute turbo ball of energy. Absolutely fantastic player. And of course the second goal came from him, and then when that went in midway through the second half, you thought, okay, this is it.
It was game over, wasn't it?
We said, hello my friend, how you going? There's a lot of fans. I don't know if that gentleman was a Jordanian fan. But at that point you thought, okay, we've seen Korea do it time and time again in this tournament. I thought no chance at this point. Just all the momentum was with them. And you saw in the celebrations as well, running over to the supporters, even when balls were going out for throw-ins, still, the Jordanian players were urging the fans to get behind them and back them even more. Just such a fantastic performance all round from Jordan. Yeah,
and it was a great atmosphere too. I mean, both Coach Hussein Amuta and also Mousa Al-Taamari in the post-match press conference were both, paying tribute to the fans. Al-Taamari in particular, who was saying that the players were very energized by the atmosphere within the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. It's a remarkable performance. It's a remarkable story, and the thought that they are literally now 90 minutes away from winning the Asian Cup, I'm actually struggling to get my head around it. It's quite incredible.
I did catch up very briefly. It was quite a throng, as you can imagine, to speak with players after the game, but we did get a quick word with both Mousa Al-Taamari and then Hwang In-beom as well. Let's take a little listen to what they had to say.
Firstly, congratulations. What does it feel like to make history for Jordan?
It's a good feeling because it's first time we go to final, and it's a good feeling to win today and to go to final.
Today, what was the main factors behind the performance? You played very aggressive, determined, you were very strong, you didn't allow Korea to play.
I think we are one team, one group in the field, and we speak about to be aggressive in the field to win this game.
Do you have belief now that you can go on and win the tournament?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like step by step. Now, last step in the final, we have to do it.
We just, after the game, your strike partner jumped onto the goal. He almost killed himself. You're not worried about?
After watching today's semifinals, a lot of people that watched Jordan for the first time are calling you new Mohamed Salah. How do you feel? New Mousa Al-Taamari.
Commiserations. What's the feeling like after this loss?
To be honest, I don't really know what to say after this kind of game. Because now I really don't know what to say. But one thing for sure is we gotta be better. We gotta keep improving what we didn't show enough, good enough.
From your perspective, what went wrong tonight? I mean, they were very aggressive. They closed you down very tight, and they played with a lot of enthusiasm. What went wrong from your perspective for Korea?
As I said, I don't know what to say in the media now at the moment, especially in English. So I think we gotta talk to each other. Inside the locker room, we had a communication all together. So yeah, we gotta.
Can you tell us what was said when you were talking inside the locker room?
No, it was not the result we wanted, but we tried our best. Sonny, captain said we tried our best. So he's proud of our team. And he also mentioned we need to keep improving, and because World Cup qualification is coming, so we need to go again and move forward, not backwards.
Yeah, so Mike, we'll continue the Jordan chat in a moment, but let's spin it over to the Korean perspective. I mean, in a way, I mean, it's disappointing. Obviously, I was going to say hugely disappointing. I don't know if that's quite right. A semi-final is still a good achievement in the way that they did it to get to this point. But as we heard Hwang In-beom say, he was kind of lost for words. At the point, it's a double entendre, I know. But you could see the disappointment from the Koreans because they thought that they'd passed maybe the toughest challenge on the road to the final, or the toughest couple of challenges.
Absolutely.
And then they fell at this point, and I think it also, you could see it from the players that were coming through post-match. They were kind of stunned, like the ferocity, the intensity of which Jordan played at, and they didn't have an answer for it. So where now for this Korean side, and particularly Jurgen Klinsmann as well?
Yes, it's the $8 million question. Apparently he's earning something in the region of that per year. It's a difficult one. He will certainly be getting a lot of criticism back in Korea as we speak. He was never a particularly a popular appointment. He's done very little to endear himself to Korean fans, as we've discussed on numerous occasions, since he was appointed. Look, he said it out right at the tournament to be judged on the performance at the Asian Cup. They haven't won, which was his desired goal, obviously, to win it. He was expecting to win it, to end the 64-year drought that is now so plaguing the Koreans every time they come.
68 years.
It's
67.
It'll be 67 years, and the next one's held in 2027 in Saudi Arabia. So look, they're in a similar position to the Japanese at the minute. It's a little bit of a crossroads in terms of, it's a bit of a wake-up call. It's a bit of a realization that, playing against particularly the West Asian teams is not as easy as maybe they like to think it is. They're not maybe as superior as they believe they are because they perform well at World Cups or they perform well against European nations. So it's a bit of an opportunity for them to reappraise the situation where they're at and their approach, certainly playing in this competition.
I think it was interesting what Hwang In-beom said, that in the dressing room it was Son Heung-min that got the players together, that addressed the players, that said, we need to take the lessons from this, learn and push forward. Yeah. The players were saying it was other players.
Yeah,
the leaders within the group that were doing it rather than the coach. Of course, the questions were raised about Klinsmann's future. Do you think the pressure now is growing on because as we've discussed endlessly, it wasn't a popular appointment, disappointing in a way, this exit. How long do you think he can survive?
I think a lot will depend on the World Cup qualifiers that are being played in March, where they've got back-to-back games against Thailand, home and away. I'd be very surprised if the Korean FA makes the decision to get rid of him. He has already said in the press conference after the game that he has no intention to stand down, and he's looking forward to going back to Korea and taking the opportunity to assess how the tournament went and to look at where they can make improvements, which is, the right answer. If you're planning to stay in the job, of course, you look at where you went wrong and how you can improve. But if they go into those two games and they fail to win one or other of those, then he might be on thin ice.
Let's go back to Jordan just for one last time, and I just want to talk again about Al-Taamari, man, because I think now he's at the level where, obviously he's doing, as we heard the guys at the start say, I mean, he's doing well at France, whereas he's already in a big league.
Yeah.
But he's 25, 26 now, maybe? So the time is kind of now, if he is going to go to the Premier League and kind of make that move. Do you think he's ready? Do you think he could go to a Premier League club and now kind of immediately impress?
I'd be very surprised if there's not people looking at him. But is he ready to go? Look, I think you only really find out if you're ready for it or not by actually, if the opportunity comes along, taking it and throwing yourself into that challenge and really having a pop at it. Look, I've been incredibly impressed with him throughout this tournament. He was very good in 2019, but he was still a bit raw. He was playing in Cyprus. He clearly had a lot to learn, but he looked like an up-and-coming talent. He has clearly developed to a level where he's certainly good enough to go and play in a league maybe slightly higher standard than France. Whether that's England, whether that's Spain, whether that's Germany, who knows? But he's certainly established himself now at this tournament as a real big name of Asian football.
We know he doesn't like this Jordanian Messi tag, and he said tonight he doesn't like the Jordanian Salah, or the new Mo Salah. He wants to be known as the new Mousa Al-Taamari. The first question I have is who was the original Mousa Al-Taamari, but that's by the by.
That's his dad.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. But I can see this guy taking over from Salah at Liverpool, man. I think he's that good. And of course, Salah went to the Premier League at a younger age, didn't work out, went away, and then came back.
Yeah.
Very similar kind of players. Both can start in wide, basically positions on the wing, can cut inside, can do damage centrally. So good, the close control on the ball, can create, can score. I just think he's such a wonderful player. I can see this guy. I can see this guy at Liverpool. 6 months from now, and pushing for game time.
Don't want to see him at Liverpool. I'm a Manchester United fan. I like him. He's a great player. One of my other favourite Asian players, Wataru Endo, has already joined the Liverpool. So no, we don't want that. But in all seriousness, look, he's definitely capable of going to a higher level. It would be good to see him playing in a club that is challenging for honours in one of the big leagues and also playing regularly in the UEFA Champions League. I think he's certainly good enough.
It's just fantastic for Asian football. I mean, if you didn't know tonight, you said, okay, one of these kind of number 10 players are a big star of the Premier League, and you didn't know which one it was. You certainly wouldn't have thought it was Song Heung-min. You would have thought it was Mousa Al-Taamari. So such a fantastic performance. Just quickly looking ahead to tomorrow, the host nation Qatar, which everyone here seems to, from a Jordanian perspective, wants as the opponent up against Iran. You and me were in the press conferences this morning. What did you glean from those two press conferences?
The biggest point that I gleaned from the press conferences was Amir Galanoy is not happy about the fact that we have a Kuwaiti referee at the game tomorrow. He was really making it his displeasure over AFC and some of the appointments and how the Iranians have been treated. He was very explicit in his dissatisfaction on a lot of stuff. I think that's somewhat. The Iranians are quite prone to having a bit of a victim complex, and I think that's a little bit of that sort of taking hold again. Look, he's got a very good team. They were fantastic against Japan. If they can put another performance like that together again against the Qataris, they will go through. I'm 100% convinced if they perform like that, they will. The problem with Iran is that they celebrated the Japan result so hard. They were so excited and relieved in equal measure, I suppose, by that win, that you have to wonder, can they back it up? Can they follow it up with another top-class performance to make it into their first final since 1976? They've been in, I think, 7 Asian Cup semi-finals since they were last in the final in 1976. They have lost every one of them.
The thing that surprised me, it wasn't just Galanoy that raised this issue about the referee. It was actually Saeed Ezzat Talahi, the player, who was in there as well. So if this kind of thing's filtering through to the playing group and they're already feeling, obviously you can say, okay, on the one hand they wanted to send a message to the organisers, but the fact is that the players are talking about this. I don't know if this is the best thing to be doing. I mean, if it's in your head that you're kind of going in expecting certain reactions and certain things to go against you, I just don't know if it's the right approach.
Well, there's also the possibility that it was a deliberate effort, something that coach and player had both talked about beforehand, that we want to put pressure on the air. No, I mean, look, I totally agree. I mean, look, again, are you happy or dissatisfied with the decision that's made? Ultimately, you deal with it. Sitting and complaining about it in a press conference is not going to change the fact that the appointment's been made. The guy, Ahmad bin Ali, is going to be the referee tomorrow, whether you like it or not. Go out, deal with it, play as well as you can. Make sure that you win the game clearly enough that any potential controversy that you might think comes up just doesn't. So just get on with it. Get on with it.
We will be at that game tomorrow. Very excited as well. Yeah, just such a privilege, to be here. I think to see this team create history, and of course, for those people outside, I think some people in outside of West Asia maybe don't know. I think there's a perception that all kind of Gulf states are rich and wealthy. This is certainly not the case for Jordan. I wrote a piece on the website earlier today as well. They host whatever it is, 250,000 Syrian refugees, almost 100,000 Palestinian refugees, and they do it without any reserves of oil and gas that these other states are funded by. So just such a fantastic story. Of course, 70,000 living here in Qatar as well. So an amazing story, real privilege for us to be there, and hopefully we see another great semi-final tomorrow. We will be back, of course, to wrap up all the action from the Al-Taamari Stadium tomorrow, but until then, it's bye for now.